Is the door to Iron Man totally closed? Because I don't believe it is.
Oh.
You guys can go through time now. You can go. You already opened up that door.
Well, let me ask you the question. If I pick the jersey back up and put it on, wouldn't you feel a little bit like, oh, crap?
No.
Oh.
Here's what I think.
All right.
They go through a few semi-lackluster Avengers movies without you. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here's the scene. There's a moment where the world's fate is at stake, and they realize they need a super genius. And then they figure out how to restart that time machine.
Great.
Come on, man.
Is that
the audience sees you when you step out of that thing?
Is this your? And you want a little arc on it too? Because if this is your idea, then you got to show up for it too.
I'll do it. I'll show up. What do I have to do?
I don't know.
I'll do whatever I have to do.
We all have to do whatever Kevin Feige
I'll hold
says.
the thing. I'll hold the clap thing. Do they still have that? Clap.
They do. They do. It's digital.
I'll hold that digital thing. I'll do it. But the way people would freak out if you came back, come on, man. Think about it. Take a few years off. Do a few Dr. Doolittles, a couple more Sherlock Holmes.
You know, it's interesting watching Eddie Murphy in this last little period of time. And I was talking to Colin Jost last night, who got to sit next to him at the Golden Globes and who was there and on the show and writing for him, with him when he hosted recently. And I go, it's just incredible. Our culture never encourages taking a break, never encourages saying, don't chase that thing because you've got it in your hands. And I love the idea that if you're good at what you do, then it's not about time. It's about, it doesn't matter when you decide to pick up the mantle again. It's just about, but it's scary, isn't it? Could you imagine? Like if they just said, hey, Joe, just don't do the show for 4 years and then come back and do it again. You'd be like, that's a lifetime. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, with Eddie, what's interesting is he was arguably the greatest of his era and just stopped.
Yeah.
Just stopped for 30 years. And no one does that. No one who's that good. And then when you see him, I don't know if you ever saw him, he received some award and he was on a panel, and sitting in front of a podium rather, and he was talking about Bill Cosby, and he was doing this routine about them taking away Bill Cosby's awards.
Oh, gosh.
And it was fucking brilliant. And the timing was so good, and all of us, comics were just sitting there going, he could do it tomorrow. He could just get up there tomorrow, and he'd be fucking murdering.
Yes. But it would be different.
It'd be different. He's a different human.
Yeah.
That's one of the more interesting things about it. It's him talking about some of the more homophobic stuff that he did in the past. Now it makes him cringe, and he just can't believe he was that person. But he was, when he did Delirious, I think he was like 22 or something crazy like that, which is just bonkers that he was that good.
Anyway, I've been thinking about him lately in relation to a bunch of things, but also just that, particularly nowadays, giving yourself permission to not have to jump because, strike the iron's hot, all that stuff.
Yes.
And maybe it's just as a bit of an anxiety to the times, which I remember too. Speaking of past generations, I remember growing up in 1974, Nixon's black and white TV getting impeached. My dad and his buddies are whooping it up, but they're still pissed. And I'm going like, wow, it's not worse or better. It's different, but now it's on us.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of an urgency. And that whole thing of just being able to say, so to answer your question, to me, starting up again is off the table. I feel I've done all I could with that character. There'd have to be a super compelling argument and a series of events that made it obvious to it. But the other thing is, I want to do other stuff.
Right, of course. Yeah, of course.